Welcome back. This is episode number 344 of the Healthy Diabetic Podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. Before we get started, please remember that nothing that you hear in this podcast should be considered medical advice or otherwise. Please always consult your medical team before making any changes to your diabetes management. We got another great episode, great show. Me and Graham. Graham is here with us today. We are live. This is number 14 of our live show. If you're listening to this on the recording, remember we go live on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, soon hopefully TikTok. We go live at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Tuesday and Friday. We might be changing that though. We haven't decided yet. Might be changing that time. So if like a 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time doesn't work for you because you're at work or because you're doing something in your life and you just don't have time or can't get onto the live, let us know if there's a better day or time because we'd love to have you on the live where you can ask questions. We're going to continue to bring guests on. We got a couple more guests coming on here in the next couple of weeks, which I'm pumped about, that I actually haven't talked to Graham about, but I'm pumped about it. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, let us know if there's a different day and time that works better for you. If you're listening to this on the recording, if you're here on the live with us, let us know where you are in the world and give us, tell us your story. Give us a little synopsis of your story. Ask some questions if you're in here in the live. And yeah, we're going to have fun with this. But anyways, Graham, how are you doing, man?
Did you hear what I said?
I did not hear what you said.
Ken, a synopsis.
Yeah, that's what I said. Talk into your microphone. Dang.
It's like the third time you said that.
Talk into your microphone. I can't even hear you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. You got to talk into your microphone. Turn it up.
How about now?
That's better.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's
technical difficulties.
Synopsis.
That's what I said. Synopsis.
You say synops. Hold on. You distracted me anyways.
You're distracted.
From what I wanted to ask you a question. Are you a handy person?
Not really. I can't lie about that. I just like anybody else, I can like find something on YouTube and probably fix it, but it'll probably take me longer than a normal person to do it.
I gave my wife a new and renovated laundry room, and 90% of the way, like this almost sounds like an analogy, but I am putting on new knobs. But we've had one of the water knobs, I'll put it this way, so we're getting down to plumbing. But I put we have a utility sink, and I got a new utility sink, and all the water, it all goes back. But that knob is a little loose, and I'm not kidding. I'm like pretty much done with this project. I'm done with the night last night. I was like watching basketball outside. I come in, I was like, dude, oh, that's right. I bought that knob. Let's just change the knob. Guess what happened?
Water everywhere.
It cracked. The PVC cracked behind the wall, and I like sprinted out like if my neighbors were out, it would have been like, what the hell just happened? Turn the water off, come in. I was squeegeeing water. I live in Florida, so lucky for us, it's
warm.
No, not warm. It's what's, the base is, it's like a concrete base, so it's not going to puddle down to the floor below. But yeah, like 12:30 quickly turned into like 5 a.m. because,
oh my God.
Well, because the leak, I turned the water all the way off, but there was still a leak. So
yeah. And then when it's in the foundation, when it's in the inside part of the wall, like you got to rip out.
Dude, you don't. Crazy, I was gonna say so. And my daughter woke up this morning. I go, what you're gonna see is actually very common in a situation like this, where you literally just are man pawing drywall, like wet drywall, just ripping it out, looking for the source of it. So yeah. So that was my night, and I think I called the emergency. Yeah, probably about like 6:30. So yeah, I pulled it on. I had to pull it. Dude, like you have no idea. You have no idea.
I have. Yes, I know.
Like I said, 3 hours.
Like, context or whatever, that like severity, but I've pulled all-nighters because something is not being put back and it has to be put back or put back together in the way it's supposed to. Like I pulled all-nighters like that.
Wait. What do you mean? What do you mean by that? You mean like for your kids, like putting together
plumbing things, things where like I start a project like in like later afternoon, maybe in the evening, that I thought was going to take maybe 45 minutes to an hour, and it turns into like a 4 or 5 hour project.
Oh yeah. I don't know. Might not touch plumbing again, man.
Dude,
I've been doing some gardening. I like gardening. I'm gonna stick to gardening.
I would say plumbing's probably, out of all of the things that you like maybe have to fix. I mean, electrical is not easy either, but if you kind of know what you're doing, you can turn the electric off to that. You can
Agreed.
knock out the electric off to that place or the house quickly,
Yeah.
fix something and call it a day as long as you put it back the right way. But plumbing, man, like it could be just the smallest little leak that just won't
Yeah.
work.
I
It
thought the
sucks.
same. With electric, you get zapped real quick with water, like man water, and now I gotta like fight mold and this and that. So whatever. That was mine. How was your weekend? Anything diabetic? Anything diabetic to report?
No, just the last 24 hours been tricky. More fluctuations than normal. My average blood sugar over the last 14 days outside of the last probably 24 to 48 hours was like at 116 average blood sugar. So I've been killing it. Average blood sugar for the last 14 days, 116, been killing it. Uh, but the last 2 days, like,
You're not
it's been
afraid to
crazy.
number. You've never been afraid to number drop.
No,
I feel like I'm a little
no.
not private with my numbers, but I'm with my numbers the way people are with their salary.
Yeah,
Like I'm
yeah,
not as
I can
I feel like
understand
I
that.
have to explain my numbers a little bit.
Yeah. I used to be like that, but now I'm just like, I don't even care. Like, if someone wants to be like, "Oh my god, your
Who would
numbers are so
care if
low,"
it's
or, "Oh my god, your numbers are so
116?
high," I'm like,
You are. What are you
"I'm what?
humble? You're constantly humble brag. You're like, all right, bragging, braggadocious. You're
Braggadocious?"
you're
I was just stating, you asked me about my diabetes. I stated that I've been doing very well and gave context behind that statement, and then said that over the last 24 or 48 hours, they sucked.
what's the worst you could be and still like drop it? Would you be like, yeah, I was
I'm gonna drop it no
185?
matter what, right? Here's the other side of the coin drop, right? So the last 24 to 48 hours been like all over, like hasn't been good, right? And we're talking probably 160 to like 250 on average.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not good for me.
Do you
Like
have
I'm usually
allergies? I heard.
no.
Okay, I know
It's
pollen's heavy for everybody.
last 24 or 48 hours of my CGM sensor. It hasn't been super accurate over the last 10 days, but I just left it on. The first 12 hours of this sensor, it was bleeding heavily, but I still didn't change it.
Ugh.
And so that's probably a little bit of it. I've had to calibrate the last 10 days multiple times.
Do you
So
put the
maybe that 116 is not even like 100% accurate either.
Do you put the patch on immediately?
The patch.
Do you put like the cover, like
Yep.
the patch thing
Mhm.
immediately?
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. Guess
Yep.
what happened to me?
What?
I lost the second Dexcom.
You lost a second Dexcom?
Is your butt is the top of your butt like your hip? Is that approved?
Dude, anything's approved. Like, don't
No, no,
I
no, no, no.
so let me for the 7? For the 7?
Yeah, 15-day 7.
I don't know about the
Do you know?
15-day, but
Do you
I
know
know
where I'm?
about this.
Do you know the
Yes, I know
spot that I'm
exactly what you're
saying?
talking about. Hold
Okay.
on. So, I don't know what they went through for the FDA, if they even went through anything with the FDA for the 15. What I'm like 80% sure about the 7 is that they only took it through the FDA on the tricep. They didn't even take it through the FDA approval for the abdomen because we've had this conversation before. And again, I'm not 100%
I
sure if
quit
that's
doing
accurate.
abdomen. I quit doing abdomen though.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like, with the G6, how you would call in or you would try to get a replacement and they'd be like, "Oh, well, you didn't put it on your abdomen, so we
Yeah.
can't give you a replacement." You remember that on the G6 and the G5?
Uh-huh.
Right? So now, when I was on the G6, every single time I called for a replacement, what did I do? Oh, yeah, it was on my abdomen. I just told him it was on my abdomen, even if it was on my tricep, even if it was on my the back of my butt. I just say it's on my abdomen
Can
because then there's no
can
issues. Okay, where this is real talk, diabetes real talk, everybody.
I'm too Well, yeah, but
So,
if you're not
but
talking about
now for the 7,
if you're not
what
publicly saying,
I am publicly saying this is a
well, yeah, after
public
the
thing.
fact, I'm not gonna. I'm in the predicament currently. I didn't have a patch, and I probably had him in the wrong spot. So won't they get
Why
me for
did you have
that?
it on? I don't think so, dude. Honestly, dude, I don't think they do that anymore,
Should
but
I
I could be
try?
wrong. Yeah, go through your app and do it from your app, dude.
Well,
Don't
yeah.
call in, dummy.
I'm making
Stop
a
calling
note.
in.
I'm making a note right now. Thank you for reminding me to do that.
Everybody,
Replace through app.
everybody, if you're on the Dexcom,
Take out.
whether it's the 6, the 5, which I know hopefully no one's on the 5 anymore, but if you're on the 6, the 7, or even the 15-day, don't call in to customer service. They're so busy. Like, don't call into customer service. You can literally do a replacement order in 3 to 5 minutes on the app. Just do it on the app. It's so
But
easy.
be very honest, as Ken says.
Sure. Be honest. Like, I mean, come on. Let's just be honest here.
Come
I
on,
want my
man.
replacement, right? So I want a replacement. They're expensive. I want a replacement.
I was laughing last night. I said to my daughter, I was like, "Hey, I just put a new patch on. Will I put a new diabetes sensor. You put the patch over it for me." And we forgot about it, did something, got in the pool, and like 10 minutes later, I like slapped it off. I think, but that's so weird, man, because that's where I was putting it. That's where I always put it. It's like the adhesive got worse.
I don't know. Maybe it's just that sensor. I don't know. Yeah, I
No,
have no idea.
it happened twice.
I don't know.
Whatever.
Yeah,
I got a little minorly
maybe that
frustrated,
spot's
but
just not good for you. I don't know. Let's jump in. Let's go.
well, I'll hit you with this. You kind of mentioned what you just said. There are a lot of FDA things that are coming down that are getting rid of hurdles for people. I don't know if you've seen this. So like the FDA, I can look this up. I think it's new. The FDA has now approved or is recommending, did we say the CGM at diagnosis?
I don't think that's ever been a thing of being recommended.
No, so I can look this up as we speak about it.
Yeah.
But I know another one is removing hurdles for GLP-1s, removing hurdles for insulin pumps, removing hurdles for the amount of time that people wait for things like that. And it just, I think, here, let me look it up. Fill some time while I look. If any of that is interesting to you, while I say it.
I'll fill this with my opinions about all of this, right? So when we think about recommendations, or let's even go a different route here. So when we think about like the doctor saying yes or no to something that we want, i.e., Graham just talked about having the ability to get a CGM at diagnosis or applying for an insulin pump at diagnosis. Most of the time, doctors don't want you to go on technology right away because they want you to learn the math. They want you to learn how to deal with the condition by yourself without having to utilize or rely on technology. I agree with that. And then I also 100% disagree with it. So it's like, I have mixed feelings about it because we do need to understand how to control our diabetes with MDI. But on the flip side of this, and that's very important, right? Understanding the formulas, understanding how you do the math for your correction factor, do the math for your insulin carb ratio and how much insulin you should take when you are, when you're eating food and all this stuff. But what I always think about is on the flip side, when you are being diagnosed with a chronic condition like type 1 diabetes, the mental burden that is put on us, like that's some real shit. That's some real shit. And then you add in a parent, a caregiver, right? Not only are they having to deal with their own mental stuff that they're going through about their young kid being diagnosed with this chronic condition that's not going to go away, but then they also have to deal with learning at a very fast, high level how to actually keep this individual safe and allow them to grow up and allow them to be a human being and not put restrictions on their life and all these things. What is going to help with all of those emotions and feelings? Well, 100% technology, 100% at least a CGM. So what Graham is saying is like, if the FDA is now recommending, and we're trying to figure out if this is a real thing, if the FDA is recommending that a doctor should give a type 1 diabetic, and hopefully it's also type 2 diabetic, someone that's being diagnosed with diabetes, a chronic condition, a CGM, I am 100% on board with that. 100%, because that's going to help alleviate, like, oh my gosh, I got to take this person's, a diagnosis. I got to take my blood sugar with this glucose monitor. And whether you're using the Hello Pip glucose monitor, which is the one I use that I love because the needles don't hurt, the needles disappear back into the lancet, so there's no repoking yourself. That's the one I use and I always recommend. But regardless of which glucose meter that you're actually using, like, now we don't have to deal with that piece. A parent doesn't have to worry about, oh, I'm hurting my child because every time I give them or try to get their blood from a lancet, they're in pain because they don't feel great, right? So like all the emotional aspect of having to deal with this diagnosis and making it the easiest as possible makes 100% I love it. I love it, love it, love it 100%.
So
100%.
this is pretty cool. We have spoken about this. I think we're both slightly forgetting. At the end of the year,
The end of this year or the end of last
no,
year?
no, no. It seems like I don't know how new this is, but in December of a year, the ADA will release the new standard of care for that following year. So in December, the 2026 guide came out.
This has not been released yet.
No, it was. It was released in December. I think what my
point. Does it have a date on it?
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. So you can look this up. This was published mid-December of 2025. Okay.
Okay, so this was
and it was releasing.
Okay,
but it was releasing this year's standard of care.
Yeah, and so it is now in place. That standard of care is now in place in 2026.
This is pretty cool when you go across. You hit the nail on the head of everything that they're talking about. Just a quick rundown of just a couple things that the American Diabetes Association is focusing on. Ugh. So here we go. CGM recommended at diabetes onset, removal of prior requirements before starting insulin pumps or AID systems. So, there are no requirements anymore. Anybody essentially can get on that, which is crazy.
So by the way, pause for 1 second on that. Okay. I want you to keep going, but I want to say,
I wanted to too. Okay. Yeah.
So the interesting thing about this is when we talk about requirements, as in requirements in terms of duration, because I think that's what they're talking about, requirements and duration of when someone's able or eligible to go on an insulin pump. I was always under the impression that this was doctor specific. It was not an actual recommendation or policy thing that was ever in place. It was the recommendation or what a doctor actually did. Because I know people that are frustrated of not being able to get a CGM or a insulin pump until 6 months into their diagnosis. And I also know people that got put on CGM right away and an insulin pump right away, right? So I think that is an important clarification that we need to understand when we talk about this, that the policy or whatever we want to call it that was in place previous to 2026 was all based off of what the doctor thought was the right move.
You caught me a little bit off guard. Okay, wait, you want me to keep going though?
Yeah,
can I keep going? Okay,
you have something else to say?
I was making the point though of how many the angles. Just let me read. I'm gonna end up reading 6 or 7 and just watch the angle of what they encompass here. Okay, so let me start again. CGMs recommended at diabetes onset, removal of prior requirements before starting insulin pumps. The thing I wanted to say was this term must be getting popular now. AID systems. You know what AID is?
No.
I think it's automatic insulin delivery system.
Okay, that makes sense.
So you see, I hadn't seen that. I was going to ask you about AID. Okay, ready? 3, new guidance on obesity pharmacotherapy and dose. Expanded recommendations for glucose lowering therapy in CKD, including dialysis patients. So those people that are on dialysis.
Yeah.
Monitoring recommendations for other types of patients. This is a cool one. Recommendation to include oral glucose in first aid kits for people with hypoglycemia. So in 2026, the FDA on their agenda is still, pushing for things like that. Now that says, wait, oral glucose. Have you ever done the gel? You ever done glucose gel?
I haven't done gels, no.
Have you heard about it?
Oh yeah. A lot of endurance athletes do it. And a lot of other people do it too because it's really easy.
No. But isn't there one that's you can get a script for though? Like you can get a script for glucose tabs.
Yeah, you can get a script for glucose tabs, but you can just buy glucose tabs. You can buy gels just over the counter.
I might be wrong, but I'm almost positive there was a glucose gel that wasn't glucagon that you sucked it like icing. You remember those little baby icing tubes?
Yeah, but that nowadays we've got those types of things that you can get over the counter. Maybe 5-6 years ago or whatever, 3-5 years ago, I don't know what the actual time
Should I write
was.
1990s? That's what all the kids say now. Yeah, I'm gonna write 1990s.
Sure back then you had to get a prescription or something for that type of product. But now those products are just readily available.
Glucose gel for diabetes. Have you ever met somebody with a diabetic animal and heard about the obstacles that people face with diabetic animals?
Oh yeah,
In
yeah.
the
I think that it's
while this comes up,
to,
go ahead.
here's the thing that's really interesting about this, and this is the same thing that we talk about with the diabetes cures, with the two big research trials that are going on right now. Right, there's going to be a lot of different things that are happening to it. Not everyone can readily be able to do it right away. Like there's a lot of like restrictions that are going to be not put in place, but they're going to show itself before everyone's going to be able to take a cure when it actually gets through FDA and we say, okay, we've actually got a cure now. It's the same thing with diabetic dogs. I think that we think about like these tools that we have to our disposal, just like a CGM, just like an insulin pump, right? Just an InPen, whatever it might be. Like a diabetes dog that's awesome, but it costs a lot of money to train these animals. There's not a lot of them, right? So not every single person can be eligible for them.
Wait, you're talking about a dog with diabetes? You talking about
No. I'm talking.
No, I was talking about dogs and cats with diabetes.
Oh, I wasn't talking about that. I thought you were talking about like dogs that are like trained to
No.
help type 1
And
diabetes.
hold on, listen. It reminded me of this story. I was young and naive and had diabetes, and someone told me, "Yeah, we live on this farm, and there's a cat that has diabetes, but we only give it insulin." And I convinced myself that the little cat fingers were too small to like do a blood sugar stick. So I was like, man, you guys are just winging it all the time. And I think at some point, either I was told that or someone said that. Like, bro,
What?
there aren't little like
What?
mini cat. Dude, I was 8 when I was diagnosed diabetic.
What?
Well, I mean, have you heard?
Yes, I've heard.
What?
My wife's aunt, her dog before she passed away was
Yeah.
type 1 diabetic,
But-
and we had to give it insulin all the
Well,
time.
I don't think there's more than one diabetes with dogs.
What? Type 1
I don't
diabetic?
think there's more than
Diabetes.
there. Yeah, it has diabetes. I don't think dogs have more than one type.
Dude,
type
I
of diabetes.
guarantee that there's insulin resistance.
Well, now let me
in
ask you a question.
animals.
Let me ask you a question. Did you do the dog's blood sugar
No,
ever?
nope.
Did it get?
I've never seen them do it.
But it probably got blood work often and stuff like that.
Well, I got blood work when it went to the vet, yeah, but it's not like every single day nowadays where it's like you have a CGM on, your blood sugar 24/7. Like it was a controlled, like with animals, as what I understand, with animals it's completely different than it is with humans, right? With animals, they get a couple shots a day. They don't take a shot with every single meal. Like maybe there's some animals that do that, but it's like with animals right now, it's like animals are living in the season earlier where there wasn't glucose monitors, there was just regular like shots. Like, you gave 1 or 2 shots a day, you ate the same exact things every single day, every single time. That's what it kind of seems like it is right now with animals.
Yeah, it's the same bowl of kibble, same amount of insulin.
Kibbles, yeah.
No, but is that kind of a mind fuck when you think about that? Just that, never being, maybe there is no need to be aware of their blood sugar.
It's just because you're so used to knowing that your blood sugar is 24/7 now. It wouldn't be a thing. It wouldn't be a weird thing if we didn't know where our blood sugars were 24/7. If we lived in the 90s, 70s, 80s, 90s or below. Or
70. All right, ready? I found them. Can I share my screen?
Yeah. Go
Here,
down
I'm
to
gonna
share and then just scroll up.
Shut up, idiot. I know how to work this shit.
Do you?
Share screen. Will it
on live yet?
Does it let me ask?
It'll go to screen and then you can pull up whichever browser you're using.
Yeah, I don't want to show the stuff that are like.
All right, sorry guys.
Whatever. No, it's fine. I'll just share my screen. I don't care.
All right.
You ever seen these?
Instant glucose. So
it looks so 90s. Just describe it. Describe it. Describe what you're looking at.
You will be able to look at this if you watch the YouTube videos. So let's see. Oral glucose, instant glucose by Bassett Health. They're $6.50.
They look again like little travel size toothpaste. It looks.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing that I don't understand with this, Graham, is because this is instant glucose. I would think a gel that's just literally a square and you just pop it in. It's like a gummy or whatever it is. Like that's way better than what a tube of that is.
I could ask my mom, my story was I could have sworn I remember getting, the little brown paper bag from the pharmacy full of those that because insurance had, and I used to like
Yeah,
stash them in my backpack or something
back in
like
the day,
that.
you had those. Those were kind of like your glucagon or whatever, your glucose like thing, your gels from today. Like, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I would never use one of those nowadays when we have gels, when we have like
Yeah,
other
no,
things that'll work just as well and are not that big. They're not like, how long does that tube last? Like, if
no,
you
I
open it
agree.
once, do you take the whole thing? Like,
Dude, I grew up riding bikes with my dad, and we would do 100 miles in a day. And I know diabetics that would straight up have icing,
yeah,
just ripping icing, just because when we're all like in a long line
yeah,
drafting for each other, and.
yeah.
So you have other stuff going on today. This was a power episode. I understand.
Yeah, it's a good power episode. I mean, I got a new client that's starting here soon. I got his first session is in 20 minutes.
You have to
And
physically
then
be somewhere.
no, just on Zoom. It's just on Zoom. It's
I was
just
gonna
it's a
say drive
new
safe,
client.
drive safe.
Yeah, new client. New diabetes client. And then still working hard on this 5 lessons that you can't learn from your doctor program. So that should be I'm really hoping that it's gonna be out in 2 weeks. We'll see.
I want to quickly tell you that in my ADD of looking for the instant glucose gels, I said to you, like, what do you think about like diabetic dogs and cats? You went on some tangent about,
But that's
and I
what I
was
thought you
actually
were talking
listening, and it was
about.
like he was kind of like scratching the surface, and he's like, "Yeah, see an eye dog." I'm like, "No, you idiot! An actual diabetic dog."
No, but that's a real thing. Like that's what I thought
Yeah,
you were getting
I know
to.
that. I know that. The
But
first,
I'm just saying
yeah,
it'd be awesome. I would do that in a second if I could have a dog because I love dogs and have it be a diabetes support dog. Like, oh, that'd be freaking awesome,
bro. The sensing the blood sugar, the dog sent that sense. That's pretty wild, isn't it?
dude.
They sense the drop of
And
a
it
blood sugar.
overrides it. Not overrides, but it from what I've heard about it, it's better than it reacts better and faster than a glucose monitor.
Wait, you mean the dog?
The dog acts better and faster. And I've seen posts on Instagram, I've seen posts on TikTok of people that have one that have hypoglycemic unawareness. And that I think that is one of the stipulations that you have to have is that you have to have
Okay.
hypoglycemic unawareness to even be eligible for to get a support dog. But I've seen things where the dog will go open the fridge themselves, grab like a juice or something like that because they've been trained to do that and bring that juice to their owner that is like going through a hypoglycemic episode.
Yeah, I
Super
have.
cool. Super cool.
I have a homework assignment for Friday
Okay.
because I will never forget this, and it's very common. The number one symptom my mom said, she's like, he had sweet breath.
And that's part of what they smell too.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
part of we're going to explain to each other what we learned. Okay.
From
Why did it come from? Why
sweet breath.
why are dogs able to sense it so quickly?
Because
What is a dog picking up on? Don't answer. You don't know shit. You got to look it up,
dude,
and we'll
I already
report
know the
back.
answer.
You don't know the answer.
I do know the answer. Well, we'll wait till Friday.
Exactly. Okay.
We'll wait till Friday.
Good
We're going
seeing
to
you,
talk
knuckle
about support
sandwich.
dogs on Friday, guys. Support dogs on Friday. Stay tuned.
Episode 2. Hey man, I didn't talk about him. You're the one that talked about him. Let's be honest.
Hey,
I'm still
but I
talking
thought
about
that's what you were
diabetic
talking
dogs.
about. Sorry,
Yeah.
jeez. You got to be
We'll
more
get to it.
specific. Be more specific. You just said diabetes animals. Like that could have meant
No,
anything.
go back and listen. Go back and listen.
Diabetes cats and dogs. That could mean anything.
No.
We're talking about all kinds of different things. I didn't think you're going to bring up animals, diabetic, or cats and dogs that are actually diabetic.
It was a pretty random thought, but
It was a random thought. That was kind of out there, but that's okay. I forgive you. I forgive you.
thank you.
You're welcome. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us for this shortened episode. It's like 30-minute episode. I don't remember the last time we've done a 30-minute episode.
33.
But 33 minutes. When you add the other stuff in, maybe it might be 35, who knows. But thank you everybody for listening. We'll see you guys next time on Friday at 2 p.m. This episode will drop tomorrow, so make sure that you follow the podcast, follow the podcast on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube, so you're notified when new episodes drop every single week. Like we said, we drop at least 2, sometimes 3 every single week. So They're really cool. They're really good conversations. Me and Graham enjoy these. We're going to have guests come on soon. So, and if you know anybody, right? So, you're endo, maybe you have a dietitian, maybe you yourself, anybody that you know that would want to come
There's
in
so
and
many
talk
people.
about.
We
There's
haven't
so many people that want to come in and talk about their diabetes. Just let us know.
I was going to say that in the beginning. We've been kind of getting back to this, that I haven't focused. I mean, there's a million people we could be talking to, so we really should.
Well, yeah, but we'll just slowly get everybody on, right? Every person that's living with diabetes, just get them on and talk to them. Who cares? Why not? Yeah, why not? Why not? All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you guys next time.